Hello, hi, and howdy. So I play a lot of games, okay? You know, a lot of games each month, and I don't necessarily always have the time to dedicate to each and every game, you know, a big long video about them, which hey, I wish I did, but it's just, that's not reality. So I thought, it might be fun to do maybe a little series of videos, like one every month, where I talk a little bit about the games that I played in the course of each month. But yeah, anyway, let's jump into it. Let's talk a little bit about the games I played in October.
Rude!
So the first one up on my list is the Patrick Star game, and I mean, I already made a video about it. It was just kind of a goofy, silly little thing, but it was actually recorded initially to be like one of those 100% videos that I've been doing. I played through the whole thing. I 100%ed the whole thing, but ultimately I did not like the game very much, and I didn't really think I had the best commentary or best video footage to work with for a whole entire 100% video, so I ended up kind of just trimming it down to the funniest bits. It was about 6 hours worth of footage condensed into about 12 minutes of what I thought was usable footage. So if that tells you anything about how I felt about the game or the quality of my commentary, you know, I mean, ultimately, I guess that's kind of the intention of doing the 100% runs. It's to, you know, give you an idea of my experience playing those games, but I don't know, I just didn't find it to be all that entertaining at the end of the day, my own commentary on it, or the game. Mostly because of the game. I didn't really think the game was very good. I don't really have a whole lot of positive to bring to the table about this game. I mean, it's cool that you get to explore Bikini Bottom, you know, in an open world setting. Like, that's kind of neat. I don't know that there's ever been a SpongeBob game like that. I'm pretty sure this is the first of its kind, and you know, the physics can be pretty funny and goofy and silly too, and yeah, that's really kind of where the positives end for me. At the end of the day, the game is just, it's just very repetitive, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. You have a set of maybe like 4 or 5 different tasks that are copy and pasted across the world of Bikini Bottom a few different times each, and they really kind of just wear out their welcome, because none of them are really all that great. Like, there's one with SpongeBob where you're wearing this, like, I assume it's like a reef blower type thing, and you fire coconuts at boxes to build up score, and that's really all there is to that. There's nothing really all that fantastic about it. And you know, despite being this open world SpongeBob game, you know, Bikini Bottom and all that, it is missing a couple of iconic locations that I would have expected to be here, like, you know, Goo Lagoon, or maybe the cemetery. That's kind of a weird one. Rock Bottom, you know? Rock Bottom's a pretty big one, but then again, I guess that's not necessarily a part of Bikini Bottom. I don't know. Just wasn't really all that fantastic, you know. And on top of that, it's kind of buggy and glitchy, which I guess isn't really that huge of a deal for a game that's kind of more physics-based like this one. In a way, that can be a part of the charm, but like when it gets in the way of doing more precise tasks, like for instance, there's this one task where you have to drive around Bikini Bottom in a garbage truck, and you suck up garbage into the truck, but man, the garbage bags can go flying out of the truck, and if you suck something up that doesn't belong in there, that garbage truck doesn't know how to react to it half the time, and it spazzes out, launches your garbage bags all over the place, and makes it kind of a bit of a pain in the ass to actually complete those tasks. Yeesh. And on top of that, I mean, the game is really short. You can get the credits to roll in under 2 hours, and you know, it took me maybe about 6 hours to complete. It probably would have been a lot shorter, but a lot of that time was me just wandering around trying to figure out what the heck it was I even needed to do. Like, towards the end of my run, there's a part where you're in this junkyard and you have to pull up this pinball machine using this giant magnet, but it's not necessarily super clear where exactly it is. It took me forever to figure out I even needed to do that. So trying to complete the game is not really worth it. I wouldn't recommend it. It's definitely pretty steeply priced for what you're getting here. The game is $40, man, and that's probably mostly just because of the Nickelodeon license, you know? They have SpongeBob. Like, they can charge whatever the fuck they want for it. It's SpongeBob on it, you know? At like maybe like $15, $20, you could pick it up and have some fun with it if you're interested in a game like this. I think 40 is probably just maybe a little bit too much though, you know? But yeah, you know, the Patrick game, I didn't really love it. Wasn't wasn't really my cup of tea. I've seen some other people having fun with it though, so great for them. Moving on.
I've got a lovely bunch of Dragon Balls, do-do-do-do-do, here they are all sitting in a bunch.
Oh my god, dude. So Dragon Ball Sparking Zero was probably the game I was looking the most forward to this year. Like, I mean, it was at the very least at the top of my wants list. I was very highly anticipating this game. Budokai Tenkaichi 3, which this game is a sequel to, was the game that introduced me to Dragon Ball Z. I didn't know anything about Dragon Ball at the time. I just saw the gameplay for that game and I thought it looked like so much fun and there were so many characters to play. I was like, alright, I gotta get this. And that's what really got me started on Dragon Ball so many years ago. It's been like, what, 17 years since that game came out? That's insane. That's insane. I'm old. But yeah, man, I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, so Sparking Zero, seeing this series come back after all these years was just something I could not sit out on. I mean, I was just chomping at the bit for this, man, and it is very well made. It's very fun, but after about 44 hours, yeah, that's the amount of playtime I have on it, I felt like I was kind of done with it. I don't know, like, well, let me start from the top, okay? Let me start with the positives here. The combat is excellent. I mean, there's a bit of a learning curve to it, too. I was kind of surprised. It caught me off guard. I was not prepared to be so ass at the game from the start. I was eager to get in, jump online, and start whopping some fools, man. I whipped out my Roshi and gave them the Kamehameha, you know what I'm saying? And like, obviously the character selection also is just, I mean, it's massive. There's so many characters to choose from. They did a really good job, I think, with like the selection of characters that they chose for this game. There were some characters that were left out, like from the original Dragon Ball series, which did bum me out a little bit. I actually just finished watching through the original Dragon Ball series for the first time ever in my, you know, almost 20 years of being a Dragon Ball fan. I've never seen the original Dragon Ball. I've seen Z and Super. I love those. But yeah, now I've seen the original, loved it, and I was a little disappointed to see some of those characters being left out, but I guess it is what it is. Maybe they'll get added as DLC at some point. The single player didn't really do much for me. I mean, you know, I've played so many Dragon Ball games over the years. I've seen the story, you know, 100,000 times, you know, told a bunch of different ways throughout all these different games, so I wasn't exactly looking forward to the story mode to begin with, but it is maybe a little bit lackluster. Like, Goku, I think, is the one who gets the most out of his story mode, which makes sense. He's the main character and all that. But like Vegeta, like his story mode ends at the end of the Buu saga, which is kind of weird. Doesn't carry into the Super part of it at all. I didn't play Frieza's story, but from what I heard, I think it only starts at Super, which is like, well, you know, he's still got the whole Z saga to kind of go through. I don't know why they didn't do that. They did mix it up a little bit by having some branching paths and some like what if scenarios, but like, I just didn't care about any of that. The whole reason I really wanted this game was to get into the online, which it was fun for about 40 hours. I mean, that's probably about the amount of time I've put into it. I've played more online in this game than anything, but it did kind of wear itself out after a bit. And, you know, that is a bit of a disappointment to me, but the reason for that is pretty simple. It really boils down to the player base. It's not really so much the game's fault, and I don't necessarily blame the players either. Like, let me get a bit more specific here. Ranked mode is where I spent the most of my time just doing like single battles and all that kind of stuff. But it's just overloaded with people picking the most overpowered characters in all of Dragon Ball to get online and whoop your ass. So it's mostly like fusion characters. You see a lot of Vegito, Gogeta, you see characters like Jiren, characters with just cheesy moves that they just ruin you, man. Characters that can instant go into sparking mode and they spam their ultimates, and just after a while it just gets a little old. Now maybe part of that is my own fault too, because I'm a Master Roshi main. I know, it's kind of maybe a little silly. I just love Master Roshi, man. He's probably one of my favorite Dragon Ball characters, if not maybe my favorite. I just love Roshi. He's hilarious. And he's obviously considerably weaker than a lot of the rest of the cast. So, you know, when you're up against someone like Broly, or there was an interesting one that I had while I was recording footage for this video against Super Buu. I think it was like the Gotenks absorbed one. I was clearly outmatching this guy in terms of the skill I was bringing to the table, but this guy could, this stupid character can just refill all of his health Just like that. Just like that. And so there was nothing I could do. I mean, I couldn't get in to like stop him from doing this in time, and yeah, it was just, I was out for an ass whooping. There was nothing I could do. Now, the alternative to this is to just go and do like squad battles, but even they get a little bit repetitive after a while, because you start to see, as you get into the higher ranks, a lot of similarly built teams of characters. Yajirobe being a staple in many playstyles, and you can just run down the clock with this stupid broken character, man. So like, on one hand, I love what this game is doing, because I love the idea of this game catering more to like the canon strengths of these characters. It's a lot of fun in that regard, you know. I don't know, just like something about the sort of Dragon Ball like role-playing instinct there. I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. But at the same time, it makes for a very highly unbalanced and sometimes just unfun online experience. And that's not even talking about like the actual connection, the connections when it comes to the online battles and stuff. I believe it's more like peer-to-peer, don't quote me on that, but either way, it relies on both parties having decent connections for these matches to run properly. And a lot of the time, you know, it can chug. It can chug, it can be slow, and it makes the timings of your button presses incredibly off. I mean, and in a game like this that requires precision timing for certain moves, like dodging, for instance, just dodging out of the way of attacks, it can be just totally out of whack. Not to continue to gripe about the game, because like, I do think the game is very well made, but it feels more like, I guess, kind of like a base for what they can build off of in the future, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a good base, good solid foundation. But you know, they're also missing a bunch of stages from like the prior games. I feel like they could have definitely done more in this department. Like, even like new stage potential was through the roof. We could have had like Beerus's planet or something like that, or his domain, dimension, whatever the fuck, I don't know. Something like that, it would have been really cool to see. Stuff like Kami's Lookout and Kame House, like they're just not here as playable stages. You know, Janemba's version of Hell, with all the jelly beans floating around, it's not here. It's not here. That kind of disappoints me just a little bit, because, you know, like, once you've played on these stages a couple of times, like, I don't know, it's not to say that they're bad stages. I mean, they're good. What's here is good. I just wish there was more variety is all. And then, you know, they added the ability to like customize characters and their loadouts and all that kind of stuff, outfits, that sort of thing, but like there's not actually a whole lot to customize for most of the cast. Like some of the staple characters, some of the very important characters, such as like Goku, Vegeta, you know, they have different costumes and outfits and things, but like some of the other characters got a little bit left out when it came to that. So I mean, overall, like I did enjoy my time with Sparking Zero, but like, I don't know, I kind of lost my interest in it a lot quicker than I thought I was going to. I thought this would be a game I would want to keep returning to and playing over and over again for like, you know, months to come, but I don't know, like the online was where it was at for me, and it kind of let me down a little bit. So ultimately, it just gets, the game itself gets a little bit repetitive after a while. There's not really a whole lot to do outside of the story mode, which if you don't really care much about that, then that's already kind of like half the experience out of the loop, because the other half of that is really just the online, and you know, that's just my take. That's just one man's take. I enjoyed it a lot, but I'd give it like maybe a solid like 7 out of 10, you know? Could've used some more stuff. I guess we'll see what happens with either this game going forward, or maybe if they'll do a sequel or something with a little bit more. I guess we'll find out. So Deadlock is a surprising addition to like one of my favorite games of this year, little list. I might do a video on that at the end of the year, my top 10 games of the year or whatever, I don't know. I got invited to the beta and I just was instantly hooked. I mean, it's just so much fun, man. It's got an incredibly addictive gameplay loop. It's just something that I was just not expecting at all. I mostly play Abrams, okay, and he's kind of like this tanky sort of character. Like, you can really just build him up to be this tanky menace. I love shotguns too, so this tank with a shotgun, that's like the perfect combo for me. I don't know. I mostly picked him because of his design. I just like his design, this blue demon guy. It's just fun. I like that a lot. And I don't know, just he has a play style that works for me too, so it was like this great marriage of things for me. there's an unbelievable level of customization to this game in terms of all these perks, and there's a lot to take in with it at first too. I mean, as someone who's not overly familiar with MOBAs, like I played a bit of Smite, you know, years and years ago, but it's been a while. There's a pretty big learning curve. Big learning curve for someone who's not super familiar with MOBAs. But I gave it a fair shake, and you know, like once I started to figure some of this stuff out, it just became a whole other thing. The great thing is that if you're struggling to figure out like what each of the perks and different customizations and things do, there are builds that people can actually upload, like other players can upload to the game, essentially, like however they spec out their characters and stuff, that you can go and download to kind of help you get a better grip, better bearings, I guess, with the game. It's like a 6v6 sort of hero shooter type thing. It's not really like a hero shooter. It's not like Overwatch at all. This is definitely a straight up MOBA. It's very unique in that regard too. You don't really see shooters combined with MOBAs. It's not really something that's ever been done to my knowledge. I'm not like super knowledgeable about this game. I mean, I don't really have like a ton to add to my little assessment of the game here, because really I'm pretty much just a straight up Abrams main. When it comes to the other characters, I've played a good handful of them, but none of them have really clicked for me the same way Abrams has. That's probably something I need to get over and start to learn how to play some of these other characters. I mean, there's a lot of great characters here. I mean, it's got a pretty awesome roster with lots of great designs and cool characters with cool abilities. It's just, it's excellent. Played a good bit with some buddies of mine, and yeah, we just, you know, it's a good time, but it's also very sweaty. I mean, if you go online and you're playing PvP, just prepare to get your shit rocked for the most part. I can tell you, I've been carried probably more so than anything else when it comes to the PvP by my team. I've had some matches where I do pretty well. This footage you're seeing is not good footage. I can tell you that. The one game that I recorded for this video, it was bad. But I'm also a little bit rusty. I've been playing other things lately, like some of the games coming up I'm about ready to talk about. Yeah, I mean, like, if you have the ability, if anybody can send you an invite to play Deadlock, I definitely recommend giving it a shot at least. It's free, you know, why not? Why not take the plunge, give it a shot. I haven't played a ton of Valve games in my life, but this is definitely making me want to maybe check out some other ones. I played a little bit of TF2, not a ton, but I mean, that was fun while I was playing that. Anyway, yeah, Deadlock's awesome. I like it a lot, yeah. I don't even know where to begin with this one. This genuinely might be, now I don't want to say it yet, I don't want to say it, but it might be my game of the year. Maybe not, I don't know. It's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. Rivals of Aether 2. It's just fucking amazing, man. This is just an excellent game. And I don't want to say too much during this section of the video, because I do want to make my own dedicated video talking about this game. I'm a huge fan of platform fighters. Really dig them all, you know, like Nick Brawl 2, for as excellent as it was just, it unfortunately got pretty short stick. It drew the short stick, you know. Player base dwindled pretty quick and just riddled with bugs, and unfortunately the community support for it has just really kind of fizzled out, although they did have a big update here recently to that game. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Rivals of Aether 2. Well, Multiverses sucks too. Sorry, I just had to slip that in there. But this is genuinely, like, I mean, let me just put it this way. There was a demo that came out like a week before the game. That ran for about a week, and I put 44 hours into the demo in a week. That's probably a problem for me. It's probably a problem. Then I've dumped almost another 40 hours into the full release. Genuinely, this might be the best platform fighter just maybe ever, at least in terms of its gameplay and mechanics. Each character is just so unique and so fun in their own unique way. It's unique and unique. I'm a Rano main. Don't grill me too hard. I know how people feel about Rano, but I gotta mute my fucking, I gotta put myself on Do Not Disturb on Discord. I keep getting notifications. There we go. Bingo. Rano's design is what spoke to me first. I just love the whole kind of like, I don't know, mystic monk aesthetic that he's got going on. I just love that shit. But then, like, his gameplay is just so much fun too. I love him. He's just a zippy little guy, and he can swallow you up and put you in a bubble, and that's really cool. I've also begun playing Crag. a good bit. He's probably my second most played character now. He's just, he's a big blocky boy, and he's a lot of fun. I don't think I have any gameplay footage of that though, but he's a blast. I mean, dude, this game is just so addicting, man. Got such a high skill ceiling, so I feel like I'm always able to like go in and try to learn something new every time I play to improve my gameplay. I like playing the ranked. It's always just my go-to with games like this, which speaking of, the online for this game is superb. It's like some of the best online gameplay you could hope for from a platform fighter like this. It's smooth as butter, man. The rollback ain't no joke. It's great. The game was made first and foremost for the competitive scene. It's definitely not super casual friendly at this point. You know, there's fairly limited content at launch. But that being said, they are going to be adding characters for free in the future, and stages and modes, so there's going to be a lot more coming to the game to give it more of that like widespread appeal to even more like casual audiences. It is only available on Steam at the moment, but it is going to be coming to consoles eventually too, once they flesh out the content of the game a bit more. For 30 bucks, like this is absolutely worth it to me. I'm getting my money's worth out of this. I can see myself playing this game for thousands of hours potentially to come. Like I love it so much, man. It is incredible. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say on that one for right now. I want to do my own video separate for that. Moving on. So this is another game that I'm doing a video on that's going to be coming out hopefully soon. But I'll talk about this one just a little bit more because I don't go super in depth with my thoughts in the video. It's more about 100%ing it. Sonic Generations, specifically the Shadow portion. That's what I played here. I played the original Sonic Generations when it came out, and I 100%ed that whole thing. But for this one, I really just wanted to get in and dig into the Shadow content because that stuff looked incredible leading up to release. I just thought it looked like so much fun. And well, it may genuinely very well be one of the best 3D Sonic games out there. You know, possibly just one of the best Sonic games. I was really blown away by the level design and the creativity that went into these things. The presentation is just top notch, man. It's incredible. The level design, seriously, it's some of the best that I've seen in the series, especially for 3D Sonic. The Shadow gameplay just has a ton of variety to, you know, that just shakes things up constantly. You're constantly getting these new moves and abilities that influence the gameplay in unique ways, like getting the Chaos Spears to press buttons. Go surfing, you know? You can fly. It's kind of weird. It's got a pretty decent story. It's not anything mind-blowing, but like I think the tone of the story is definitely a lot closer to what I prefer from Sonic than what they've been doing for the last like decade plus. You know, even it's such a stark contrast to the to the other half of this game being the Sonic Generations portion, which is really around the time that they just did not give a shit about Sonic and story. They didn't go very well together at that point in time. It started with Colors. Colors was just, yeah, no, nothing. Nothing spectacular. They treated Sonic stories like they belonged on Nick Jr. or something, you know? This is definitely a lot closer to what I prefer. Frontiers was a really good step in the right direction for that too, but this game gets even closer. I think it's really solid. Now, the downside really is just that it is on the shorter side. It's probably about the same length as Sonic Generations, which, I mean, depending on how you feel about that, might not be that big of a deal. It's really not that big of a deal to me either, because where some of the longevity comes out of it for me is just the completion side of things. It does extend the gameplay just a bit more. But that being said, like some of the collectibles, like specifically in the hub world, are a pretty big drag to try and find, like specifically some of the nuts and bolts and things, and then some of the treasure chests that are scattered throughout the hub world. It would be really nice if they included some sort of like radar or tracker to help make completing the game a bit more tolerable. Like honestly, if I wasn't doing 100% video on this game, I don't know that I would have ended up finishing it. I probably would have just thrown my hands up and been like, okay, good enough, close enough. But the levels, trying to get S ranks in them and going for the achievements for them was a lot of fun. I had a really good time with Shadow Generations. Ton of fun, super good game. I guess I should add this too, that some of the more like gimmicky sections with like some of the transformations and power-ups and things do feel a little bit awkward and clunky to control and navigate around sometimes. Once I got my bearings straight a little bit better with some of those things, it did become a little bit easier, but I don't know, it probably could have been smoothed over maybe just a little bit more. Specifically like this one ability that lets you like tether onto things. I had some weird issues with that. Probably something else too that I'm forgetting, I don't know. This whole video is just off the top of my head. I'm just rambling a bit, that's all this video is. But yeah, I don't know, like seriously, if Sonic continues in this direction with what they've established here in Shadow Generations, like, we could seriously be in for a renaissance with Sonic games. It's really that good, man. I mean, it was excellent. Really, the ball is in their court now. I mean, Sega does have a bad habit of establishing a really good potential direction for Sonic and then doing a complete 180 and trying something else, and well, I hope that's not what they do here. For the longest time I really thought they should have just stuck with the adventure direction, and let me just say, there's a lot of adventure influence in this game. I could just feel it throughout. So much of it to me, I'm like, yes, this is adventure. That was always to me the best 3D Sonic gameplay that we've had up to this point. And I'm not even just referring to like the adventure levels that are here in this game or anything. You can just, I don't know, man, you can just kind of feel that there's some adventure influence oozing from the gameplay, and I'm totally here for it. It's a really good combination to me of like the boost gameplay with some of that adventure influence to these 3D levels and sections kind of weaved throughout. It's really good. It's almost damn near perfect, man. But yeah, anyway, really enjoyed this game a lot. All right, let's move on.
Then in 2012 came Black Ops 2.
So, this was another surprise for me this year. I have dumped so much time into this game. I'm actually kind of embarrassed to even say how much I've put into it, so let's not even go there. Maybe you can figure it out as I continue talking. The Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Yeah, I know, a lot of you are probably surprised by that. You probably don't expect me to be a Call of Duty guy, and I'm not really, or at least I haven't been for a long time. I played the original Black Ops and Black Ops 2 back on the 360, back in those days. You know, junior high, high school, just coming home from school, jumping on the 360 and playing some Call of Duty. Those were the days, man, and I don't know what came over me here lately. I just had this itch. I'm like, I want to play some Call of Duty. Don't know why. Don't know why. That little bug landed on my shoulder. I was like, hey man, let's play some Call of Duty, and I just got totally sucked into it. I didn't want to spend $70 though, in case I ultimately didn't end up really liking it that much or playing it that much. I definitely would have. I didn't, now that I've played it a bit, and I would have gotten my money's worth. But I actually ended up getting a subscription to Game Pass, PC Game Pass, for like $12, and definitely worth every penny. I just play multiplayer when it comes to Call of Duty. I don't give a fuck about the campaigns. I know that they're apparently, you know, pretty fun, pretty cool and all that. I just don't give a shit. I'm here for the multiplayer, you know. I want to get on, play some team deathmatch with some buddies and have a good time, and that's exactly what I've been doing. It's been a nostalgic experience for me to play Call of Duty Black Ops 6 with just some friends and being a part of this launch excitement for a new Call of Duty game again. It's been such a long time. The gameplay feels just as good as I remember it being. I mean, it feels like Call of Duty, you know? Feels exactly like it did, what was it, 15 years ago with Black Ops 1 and 2, which, I mean, for some people that might not be really a very good thing, but for someone like myself who hasn't played Call of Duty in a long time, it was just, I don't know, kind of refreshing to jump into it and be like, yeah, this is the Call of Duty I remember. This is a lot of fun. Tons of fun guns and weapons and score streaks. I'm a big assault rifle guy, but I ended up really digging the shotguns in this game too. I've been grinding out camos for my weapons. I've been trying to get the golds. I got diamond shotguns. I got the diamonds from my shotguns. This is a level of addicted I didn't think I would ever get in the Call of Duty ever again, honestly. I never went this hard on Black Ops 1 and 2. I had like 1 or 2 guns that I played, and that was what I did. But I've been swapping around, trying out different guns, getting camos, just the whole works, man. It's a ton of fun. I'm loving it. Zombies, well, I played a couple of rounds. I haven't played a ton of it, but it has been a lot of fun. There's 2 different maps that you get to play on. Those are really good. There's actually a bit more going on odd in this version of zombies than what I experienced in Black Ops 1. I don't know if I remember playing zombies in Black Ops 2. I don't know if I ever did. Definitely played it in 1 though. Yeah, man, you can get like upgrades, you can like upgrade your weapons, you can get some power-ups and boosts and things, and it's just great. It's just, I don't know. It's just great. It's just a ton of fun. But I've definitely spent most of my time in multiplayer. The unfortunate thing about multiplayer is that sometimes, man, that player base can be sweaty and try-hardy. So sometimes, you know, you'll jump in, you'll have some great games where you're just kicking everybody's ass, and then other games, it's on site, man. As soon as you're spotted, you're dead. But that's just part of the experience of Call of Duty, I guess. I'm also not really a huge fan of the map selection for multiplayer this time around. There's maybe like 2 or 3 maps that I really enjoy, and the rest just kind of range from being okay at best to just unfun, just flat out unfun. There's like 12 maps in total, so yeah, it's not really a great percentage of maps that I think are super good. But, you know, I've gotten used to them the more that I've played, and like, I don't really mind them all that much. It's just, some maps are definitely better than others. That's really what it boils down to. A good buddy of mine, I don't know if he wants me to say his name and all that, but he works at Little Caesars, and he gets codes for us, our little friend group who plays Call of Duty 6, Black Ops 6, and so we're getting all kinds of Little Caesars customizations for our characters. We got like these custom skins and stuff. We're the Caesar squad. We got a little Caesar squad going on, and that's just kind of been hilarious too, just running around as Little Caesars guys, shooting people up. This game really came as a bit of a surprise to me. I was not expecting... Getting into Call of Duty again this year was not on my bingo card for this year, okay? Let's just put it that way. Man, am I loving it. It's just been a nostalgic experience. Anyway, those are the main games that I've been putting some time into for October. Let me know if you guys want me to do more videos like this where I kind of just talk a little bit about some of the games that I've been up to playing that I've been up to. Speaking is not my first language. Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed listening to me ramble, and, you know, subscribe if you're not already. Hitting that like button really helps these videos. I know you probably hear it on every single YouTuber video ever, period. But we say it because it's true. It really helps in the algorithm. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh, sorry, $10 supporter jump scare. BiggWeast, Beamsley V3, Cryocrax, the Pumpkin Usurper, Steven Ison, Zaveghunter, Keylid, VinchGenix, Steven Marx, Mitty, TJ Bond, TheSenseiGamer, TruaxVoiceOver, Biohazard May Cry, and BaconG. Thank you all for your continued support. You guys are amazing. Rock on!